Based on what we just read out of the book of Jeremiah, chapter 20. Let me read it again.
The book of Jeremiah 20, verse 14. Cursed be the day wherein I was born.
What is it called, the day that we were born? What is that called? Your what?
Birthday.
Your birthday. And what did the Bible say that day is?
Keep reading it now.
Well, just answer that piece. We're going to keep reading. We ain't going to dodge.
It's cursed.
It said it's cursed. So why do people walk around saying their birthday is a blessed day? Jeremiah is a prophet, is he not?
He is.
And he prophesied of the times to come. He even prophesied of times past because he understood what Moses taught us. But he prophesied of times to come. And a prophet from God, who the Spirit of God spoke through, and actually has a record for us to read thousands of years later, said it was a cursed day. So why do people celebrate birthdays today?
Let me ask you a question. Why was Jeremiah saying that why was he saying that he cursed the day he was born? What was reading before then and after? I'm just trying to get an understanding. So what was the reason why he was saying he was cursed? That's all I want to know.
Because he was born at a time that he was about to go into captivity in Babylon.
Exactly.
Now, did Jeremiah go into captivity in Babylon?
I can't remember if
he did not.
Yeah.
He went to Egypt. So he did not. So that's not the context. Because he was prophesying that it was going to happen, but he didn't go into it.
Yeah.
He went into Egypt instead to prophesy to the Israelites that had fled into Egypt, to tell them to come out of their sinful ways because their brothers and sisters were going to be taken into captivity.
Okay. You're right.
All right. So we're going to stick with the context.
All right.
Read that again.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 20 and verse 14. Cursed be the day wherein I was born.
Read.
Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed.
A birthday is not a blessed day, and that's all I'm touching on. People walk, like the lady that walked by a minute ago, she said that today is her day. Well, I'll be damned. I don't understand that because the Bible, and she professes to be a woman of God, she says she believes in the Word of God, which is the Bible, but the Bible said it is not a blessed day, that it is a cursed day, not a day to be celebrated. So there's some confusion that's happening based on what we were taught against what was written. Would you agree? Because now what he said was, cursed be the day I was born. Not cursed be the day I went into captivity. So he's clearly speaking about a curse for his birthday. Now Job spoke the same thing, did he not?
He did.
He did. So this is a discussion of birthdays, not just captivity. But where did we learn to celebrate birthdays?
Tradition.
We learned it out of tradition of men. Give me the book of Matthew. Give me the book of Matthew. Actually, give me Mark chapter 7. Start at verse 1. We're going to start from the top of the chapter so that we get the context. Yes, sir. Mark chapter 7, verse 1. Come on, bro.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 1. Then came together unto him the Pharisees and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem.
So Pharisees and scribes came to Christ, right? This is a discussion that's had all the time. I learned this in the church, right? But it says that the Pharisees and some of the scribes came to Christ. Read.
And when they saw some of the disciples eat bread with defiled, that is to say, with unwashed hands.
They saw some of Christ's disciples start eating, but they had not gone and washed their hands. So their hands were dirty, defiled. Read.
They found fault. For the Pharisees and all the Jews, except they wash their hands off, eat not.
So, unless the Jews washed their hands often, they didn't eat. But it says that that was a tradition that they learned. All of the Jews followed it because the Jews were being taught or led at the time by the Pharisees, the Sadducees, right? You had Coptics in Egypt, the Alexandrians, the Epicureans up in Corinth, right? Ephesus. You had all of them up there, right? The Nicolaitans. So all of these groups were groups of Jews, but they were teaching traditions of men rather than the laws of God. Let's see what they said to Christ. Read.
Holding the traditions of the elders.
They were holding what?
The tradition of the elders.
They were holding traditions. Read.
And when they come from the market, except they wash, they eat not. And many other things there be.
So there were many traditions that the Jews were following that was set up by the elders, not the Bible. Read.
And many other things there be, which they have received to hold, as the washing of cups and pots, brazen vessels, and of tables.
Verse 5.
Verse 5. Then the Pharisees and scribes asked him, why walk not the disciples according to the tradition of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands? He answered and said unto them, well hath Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites.
So now Christ is going straight to the book of Isaiah, right? And he's not reading a whole chapter. He's quoting a verse in context with what the Pharisees are saying. He didn't go through a chapter. He went through a verse from Isaiah, and it said what?
As it is written, the people honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
He quoted Isaiah 29 and 13. He didn't start at verse 1. He went straight to verse 13 and called them hypocrites. Read.
Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the traditions of men.
Colossians 2 and 8. So we were taught in the church to hold the traditions of men, because the Bible is supposed to be our constitution. It's supposed to be our guideline to walk through earth. First, to understand who we are. Second, to understand why we are returning to God and must return to God. Third, what we should do once we make that repentance, once we confess that. That's what it's supposed to teach us. However, today we walk around thinking that we walk on our day doing what we want to do, which is actually the teaching of the traditions of men rather than what the Bible teaches us. Read that.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you.
Beware lest Pharisees, Sadducees, and scribes, modern pastors, spoil you, destroy your minds.
Through philosophy and vain deceit.
Through philosophies, right? Exegesis, eisegesis, all of these things are philosophies because these are Greek words. And they want to take those and use them to try to give an understanding of the Bible when the Bible gives us a clear understanding of how to understand it. Read.
After the traditions of men.
After the what?
The traditions of men. After the rudiments of the world.
Read.
And not after Christ.
So everything that I learned in that Christian church was the rudiments and traditions of men, not walking according to Christ.
Everything?
Everything. I'll tell you why. What is today?
What are you speaking? Sabbath? Seventh?
Sabbath.
Okay.
And Sabbath means seven.
Okay.
Sabado, Spanish word for seven. Right? So today is the Sabbath day. Read that.
I agree with that.
The book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day.
On what day?
On the seventh day.
He rested.
God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made.
All right. So the seventh day is today.
Exactly.
Right? So what are we supposed to do? Now, this is how I'm showing you my understanding being skewed from childhood, right?
Okay.
Because I was taught today was the day that I went and played basketball.
The day
I played sports. Today was the day when all of the best sales was on, so mama had to hit 3 grocery stores because she had to get her meat from this store, her vegetables from this store.
tradition.
Yeah, right. We were taught complete traditions of men. And then we went into the church on Sunday thinking it was the Sabbath day, right? But we would get there, and after church, especially when I was younger, now I'm a little older. When I was younger, after church, they sold you plates. They would sell plates, right? So this was in the Sabbath day because a day runs from sundown to sundown. So let's hypothetically say that sundown Saturday, sundown Sunday would have been the day. There's certain things that you're supposed to do and not do within the Sabbath day. Buying and selling is one of them. Cooking of food is another one. So even if the Sunday was the actual Sabbath day, on that day we were buying and selling plates, and they were cooking food on that day.
I got you.
So I learned all traditions of men.
Well, yeah.
I never learned to worship God in the way that he told us to in the Bible.
Yeah. But then, again, talk the same thing. But
Yes, sir.
then, I understood the truth after I read it. And I'm not arguing with you today.
Yeah, no argument.
You know, today is the seventh day. The day is the Sabbath. The day
Yes,
is
sir.
the day of rest. Certain things that in the scriptures that they weren't supposed to do, even walking a certain amount of distance they couldn't do under tradition. You know,
Okay.
during the Sabbath. So,
Right.
I'm not arguing with you, dog.
Yeah, no, you're not. You being very quiet. We having a good conversation. So yeah, no argument.
What I mean is, I'm agreeing with you.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
I don't got to run. Continue to teach.
Yes, sir. No, and yeah. And I appreciate you coming and discoursing with me, having a conversation. Now, here's the thing. It is a tradition of men to believe that they could not walk but a certain distance on the Sabbath day. Right? That was because...
It's in there, but they, you know...
Yeah, no. There's no law that says that a man can't walk on the Sabbath.
No. It was, but it's not law, but they done that in the scriptures, you know.
So if there's not a law saying, hey, you can't walk further than 10 miles, or you shouldn't walk further than such and such distance, or hey, you shouldn't walk at all,
Again,
then yes, it's a tradition of men.
and Jesus come teaching, trying to show them that even that tradition was wrong. Good teaching.
Yes, sir. Okay. Now, let me ask you a question before you go, though. What is your nationality according to the Bible? If I asked you what race of people you come from, what would you tell me? Because that's what's major important.
Black, but shield?
Under Shield? Okay, good. You know you should assimilate.
Ham, Shem, and Jacob.
Yes.
So we would be, we would be Shem, wouldn't it?
We would be Shem. Now, out of Shem came many nations.
Exactly.
So which one of the nations under Shem did you come from?
Now,
Give me 30 seconds. Come here. Give me 30 seconds. I got you. I got you. Give me 30 seconds. Right here. You see this sign? In the Bible, on the side closest to me is what God called us. On the side that would be on your right, you would be Judah, Benjamin. Judah and Benjamin? What is your father?
Judah of Benjamin, because those were the last two tribes that was left true in the...
Yeah, Levi too, though. Levi too, because Levi came down. Jeroboam kicked him out, and brought him down. So the Jews were Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Which one would your father be? Would he be American black? Would he be West Indian, or would he be Haitian?
American black.
American black, so you would be Judah. That's your tribe. Now, while you walk away, here's why it's important. Read this.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 46. If they sin against thee, but there is no man that sinneth not.
He's speaking to Israel. He said, if Israel sins against me, because none of them are without sin, read.
And thou be angry with them and deliver them to the enemy.
And it said, and if God be angry with Israel and deliver them in the hands of their enemies, which is what Jeremiah was prophesying about. Read.
So that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near.
Where were we carried away? No. Where were we carried away? Here. So America is Babylon the Great. America is spiritual Sodom and Egypt. All right? I got you. Hey, but look. Right? I got you. But right now, though, you about to be in the midst of fornication. You about to be in the midst of fornication. I do. Because look, when you don't turn your feet to God on the Sabbath day and instead you doing other things, that's spiritual fornication.
Right.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.